Hello there, my name is Jocelyn Seamer, and I am so pleased to let you know that my book, Reading Success in the Early Primary Years, A Teacher's Guide to Implementing Systematic Instruction, is now live and in the world. I would like to extend an enormous thank you to Professor Pamela Snow from La Trobe University for writing the foreword for this book. And I especially want to say an enormous thank you to you, the teachers of Australia and the world, who are working every day so very hard to help every child learn to read with evidence-informed instruction, as is their right. I would like to read the introduction to you. It's a letter, a love letter, if you will, to all of the teachers everywhere. And I am so thrilled to have this book out, and hopefully it will be helping you to make implementing systematic instruction that little bit easier. So let's go. Dear colleagues, I have been compelled to write this book for you after many conversations, emails, training sessions, and social media posts with teachers all asking the same question: what does the science of reading look like in my classroom? In my role as a school leader and now teacher trainer and consultant, I have one goal: to make the teaching of reading simpler, more effective, and align with the evidence around reading instruction. For far too long, teachers have struggled along doing the best they could with the knowledge and strategies available to them, only to end each school year feeling like a failure because some, or many, of their students were still not reading at an appropriate level. This book aims to bring to life the evidence around structured literacy for you in a manner that is easy to implement, draws on the evidence base of the science of language and reading, and supports your cognitive load. After all, nothing is accomplished when we feel overloaded and overwhelmed. This is true for both children and adults alike. It is time to let go of professional learning that yields no professional development. It is time to let go of teaching methods that require children to put it together themselves and are built on the misinformed, outdated, and often damaging assumptions of a time before we knew what was happening in our brains when we read. With this book, I hope to equip you with knowledge, skills, and guidance that allows you to gain, or even recapture, a love of reading instruction and help you build the feelings of success in your students that light the spark of a love of learning. To be a good teacher, it is necessary to be a good learner. I am here to walk alongside you in your learning journey, to give you a flotation device if you feel like you are drowning, and support you to learn what structured literacy looks, feels, and sounds like in your classroom. Together, I know that we can help every one of your students achieve reading success in the early primary years. What you can expect from this book. To truly possess a skill, we need understanding. If you are looking for an academic text full of dense language and discussions of the finer points of research, this is not the text for you. If, however, you are looking for plain language outlines of research, practical overviews, and a guide full of strategies and techniques that you can use in your classroom right away, then welcome. The book is structured as follows. Part 1, Setting Up for Success, an outline of the Big Six of reading instruction and an explanation of other key ideas such as cognitive load, differentiation, supporting students with reading difficulty, and high-impact teaching strategies. Part 2, a discussion of 8 key actions of structured literacy. Part 3, structured literacy practices, specific guidance and teaching routines across the literacy block. The teaching routines and structures shared have not all been rigorously studied. However, they do reflect the findings of the research described in parts 1 and 2. I have structured reading success in the early primary years so that you can use it in a way that makes the most sense for you. If you wish to start at Chapter 1, reading about the research supporting structured literacy, you can do so. If you are looking for a teaching routine for any point across the literacy block that you can implement tomorrow, then you can do that too. When it comes to implementing what you find in this book, I fully expect that you will tweak and change the routines I have provided. You are, after all, a teacher with experience. You are also responding to the needs of your students, which requires changes and adjustments to meet them where they are up to. If you are concerned that your changes might reduce the effectiveness of the lesson outlines provided, refer to Part 2 of the 8 Key Actions and review the features of explicit instruction and recommendations grounded in the research. With one eye on your students and the other eye on the research, you will be in a good place to support the needs of every student in your class. A word on terminology. You can't visit the Science of Reading faculty at your local university or enrol in a course that will teach you how to become a reading scientist. What you can do is access literally thousands of research papers that have been published by researchers from a range of disciplines that tell us what works best for the largest number of children in reading instruction. The term science of reading has become so pervasive in our profession that this term and all that it stands for is in danger of taking on the status of a fad or next shiny thing in education. It is for this reason that I will refer to the approach to reading instruction described in this book as systematic reading instruction or structured literacy. I hope that you gain as much enjoyment reading this book and implementing what you find within its pages as I did in writing it. Happy teaching. All my best, Jocelyn. My sincere hope is that this book helps you to unpack your literacy block, to make each element effective, to save you time, and to get your students to reading success quicker and easier so that you can focus on all of the things that is involved in being a teacher. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the book when you have a read, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.